Hey folks, Gary here. Happy Friday to you from Cole and I. Cole's got a squeaky ball, so that might make some noise during this video. I hope you're having a really good Friday morning. For the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about praise and worship and how praise and worship, there's more to it than an hour on Sunday morning. It really should be a lifestyle. It should be how we live. And one of the things about praise and worship is knowing who it is that you're praising, knowing who it is that you are worshiping. Of course, it's God. I mean, we can worship other people. You shouldn't, but I mean, that's possible, and we see that happen. But we want to praise and worship God, and we want to know Him. And so, a lot of us have our understanding of God as being just a really great father, right? At least I hope you do, where he is gentle and kind and merciful and generous to us. We read that in the prodigal son. We read the scriptures about that. We know his character through Jesus, how Jesus was loving and kind and benevolent and looking out for us. But there's more to God than that. I mean, that's amazing, but there's more to God than that. It's kind of like a young boy. Let's say someone who's like 7 or 8 years old, and he knows his dad as a very safe person to be around, someone who loves him and cares for him and is nurturing. And so he knows his dad as this really loving man who's big and strong and holds on to him and protects him. But does the boy know his dad completely? Does he know that his dad might be this incredible warrior who goes out and onto the battlefield and wins battles? He might not know that. And it's kind of the same thing with us with God. We know him as this very tender God, which we should. But he's also the same God who created the universe, who put the stars in their places, who shook Mount Sinai when the Israelites came to worship him, and he shook the mountain and it terrified them. He's the same God that we read about in Revelations, who says that he will shake the foundations of the world and heaven and create a new earth and a new heaven. God is awe inspiring. He is beyond our imagination. So yes, he's kind and gentle and like a warm blanket, but at the same time, he is an untamed lion, as C.S. Lewis wrote in the Chronicles of Narnia. Um, is he safe? No, he's not safe, but he's good. He's not a tame lion. God is not tame. God is God, and so there's part of our worship and part of our praise and worship is being in reverence of him, being awestruck by his presence because he is just so incredibly powerful. Hebrews 12, verses 28 and 29 says this: Since we are receiving a kingdom that is unshakable, let us be thankful and please God by worshiping him with a holy fear and with awe, for our God is a devouring fire. God is so far beyond our imagination. There should be an awe. There should be a holy fear. Is that a holy fear of, oh no, I'm terrified? Not a fear of that, because that fear has to do with punishment, and we're not going to be punished by God because we've given our life to Him, and Jesus has forgiven us, like through the cross. God has forgiven us through what Jesus did. So it's not a terrifying fear that way, but it's a fear of, wow, I'm undone in your presence. You are just so amazing. There's an awe about the presence of God. We should have that as well. We don't just we don't worship a little house cat. We worship a roaring lion. We worship a very untamed lion. He's God and he is amazing. And so that's why we worship him. So